Hello everybody, welcome to a speedrun game against Cox 2, rated 1767. Pretty high rated, a lot higher than our current rating, and he plays the Sicilian. So we already know the starting moves, at least I hope you do by now, for this specific speedrun. Next speedrun, we're not going to play F4 against the Sicilian, we'll try something else. But for now, we're going to continue with our King's Gambit pawn duo as he develops modestly, preparing a pawn break. He just wants to do all the normal stuff we see in all the normal games. Now, normally we want to attack his knight, but he hasn't committed it. So I'm going to make a waiting move, a prophylactic waiting move. This gives my rook some rook lift potential in the future. It also stops his future plan of b5, which is how you expand in the Sicilian. But now he develops the knight. When you can kick a knight from the center, you should consider it. If we do kick the knight, we get to gain space for free, and I don't think his knight's well placed here. So I'm going to do it. Gain space for free. So he jumps here. Huh? Isn't it trapped? Wait. Why would he go here? So if I just kick it, what's he trying to do? This or something? Check. And if I take it, check. And if I go g3, then he wants to take with the knight. So if I go here and check and I play g3 first, then if he takes it, he doesn't have his queen x-raying my rook, so it doesn't work, or it shouldn't work. He gets a pawn, I get a piece. He gets a second pawn with check. I move my king, he gets well, not a third pawn because my bishop will defend, but my king will have moved. So it'll be a piece for two pawns and my king can't castle. Interesting. Wow. I mean, I'm going to do it though. I don't care. I don't care if I have to move my king. A piece is a piece. Oh, he could also sacrifice the bishop, I guess, but I think it makes more sense to sack the knight. And then I'll go, after the check, I'll go king e2. And because I don't want to block my bishop's defense. And then I'll have to consolidate. Weird position, imbalance, but now my rook is super powerful. If he castles that way, he has to be careful, but we need to develop. We need to get our king to safety and our pieces out. So I'm thinking this might be a really good idea to consolidate and then get my knight in the center and slowly unwind. So my king's on light, but his light square bishop h5. Okay, he wants to push the pawn, but I mean, he's all on the back rank. It's super odd. What a weird game already. So I'm just going to follow my plan. It comes with a threat. My plan is to maybe flush out the bishop, but this pawn would be undefended. So we have to see. I think I'm going to leave my bishop here because it's well placed. And then, because the pawn needs defense. And then just put my knight here, which will attack the bishop. And my knight's on a beautiful central square, threatening a lot of stuff. So if we can get these moves in, we'll just win. Because we're up a piece. I mean, two pawns is two pawns. You know, you can't ignore that. Okay, h4, but that's as far as it's going to go, right? And he just wasted two moves. That's two moves of free consolidation for us, I feel like. So I do not recommend pawn grabbing. I do recommend developing. Okay, guys? We already have our win condition, the piece. Don't be greedy. It will backfire. So now this looks like a really nice move because if we take the bishop, his rook's hanging. And it's also just an awesome move, even if that doesn't exist in the position. And then now we can slink our king to d2 in perfect safety afterwards. We can fianchetto our bishop, looking beautiful on a long diagonal that's open. And I wonder if he did it on purpose or by accident. That's what I'm curious. So I'm going to jump my knight in the center instead of developing a new piece because it comes for free. His bishop, this is not a trade. It's a free bishop. Also, this check, super devastating and annoying. Also, if he goes here, that's a blunder too. He's hanging different bishops. So his position is terrible. He has to address this. He doesn't address this. He's an 1800 who hangs 2 bishops in 1 turn. Awesome. Which bishop should we take? This also ruins his castling. But let's say he goes over. We take this and hit the queen. The queen's going to hit the knight, and then we have to waste a turn going back. That's something. If we take this right now, I mean, we can just go back and threaten it again. I'm going to take this because it's in my position, right? He's on my side of the board. Okay, he intermezzos a trade, his best minor piece. He just gave it up for no reason. And now he's down a bishop and a pawn with no counterplay and no development. But he did make 1, 2, 3, 4 pawn moves, right? Instead of 4 development moves. You see the drastic difference? So he puts a knight here, but if he checks us, we'll just scoop it. So let's put our knight back in the middle, right? Let's not leave it on this square because I mean, we're definitely going to hop into d6, whether it wins material or not. That's the most beautiful outpost and octopus knight. So he might resign soon. It's weird that an 1800 puts his knight on e4 on move like 5. Super weird. Like he's clearly strong enough to see he was trapped. I don't know. A bit odd. But you see this guy just got wrecked up right in the opening. He didn't make normal moves. He didn't establish his pawn presence, right? He never played d5. He started messing around with his minor pieces and they got kicked around because he didn't have the pawn presence. Step 1 is establish pawn presence in the center. He skipped that step and then he paid the price. So it's not a coincidence that this is happening. I told you guys the steps and you just follow them. You're going to have a decent opening, a decent game. Now he's thinking, but there's nothing to think about. My king looks ridiculous, but it's extremely safe. His queen can't enter. There's nothing that can touch it on the light squares. This is a random check. So that's game over. And you see how he played b6, so our a4 move, let's say 5 moves or 10 moves down the road, will be even more justified because we have a little hook to open up our rook. He gives the check. We're just going to scoop it, right? We're up our material and we're removing his resources. We throw in this check because now he can't castle and this knight's invincible. How does he get rid of it? It's worth at least a rook. So he should, like if he sacks a rook, that makes sense. Okay, he moves his king. Now we can do whatever we want. Okay, the bishop clearly best placed on this long diagonal. We would have to move the king out of the way. The queen probably best placed on e4. Looks very active. The rook, it could use the g file, but I do want to monitor this pawn for the time being. I think I'm just going to develop my last minor piece and x-ray the rook. The bishop also sits really nice on e4, but the queen does too, maybe. He moves the rook. I want to move my king just to give the vision to my pieces. So we're up 2 pieces for 2 pawns. So we have 2 extra minor pieces. And he has, 2 pawns somewhere. So he tries to break down my knight and maybe get access to my king. But is his king really safer than mine when I have 2 extra pieces? I don't know about all that. What's the drawback? He weakens these squares. Can I utilize that? Well, now my queen has an extra place to get in. Let's develop our queen to a very active post with a threat. And if he tries taking stuff, I mean, he'll be exposing his own king. And if he pushes, he's just locking down the position, which is even better for us because then he really has no counterplay. So this is at the level where I could beat Stockfish from here, right? So it doesn't matter who's sitting across the board. Top 10 chess players in the world makes no difference because the position is terrible. You're down 2 minors, right? That's inexcusable. So he goes here, defending the pawn, undefending the other pawn. So we could scoop it. However, I don't want him playing g5. I don't want him getting any counterplay. So more important than material, which we have plenty of, we don't need more, is prophylaxis and making sure he has no counterplay. So since we don't want him to push, how do we stop it? We physically obstruct because he has weaknesses all on the light squares. And now he has nothing to control the light squares but his queen. But he can't even contest our queen because of our octopus knight dominating light squares. We're now threatening checkmate in 1. So he goes here to stop checkmate in 1, but look at this construction, right? He should resign. Now that we have a complete bind and full map control, now and only now we can mess around if we want and take some stuff. Is he going to take? He might. He very well might. Check. He could even take the knight if you try something like that. Interesting. So if he takes, what can we do with our knight? Yeah, he does take. What's the best move, though? Can we somehow still do it? Check. He goes here. Check. He has to go back. Do we have something cool? I was hoping we had something cool. I don't really see it in that regard. Okay, so where would I want the knight? Like, for what's the best square? Like, if you go here, you're hitting stuff. It can jump here. If you go here, you're hitting stuff. I kind of like it on e5, maybe. That seems pretty effective. It has a fork here. It might even be better than d6. So I'm thinking to go here. Yeah, I like this move. So we'll take this next and reposition the knight. Try to... It really doesn't matter what you do. He has no moves, right? Like, he can't do anything on these light squares or contest the diagonal. He can't take... I mean, he can take a pawn, but it doesn't do anything but protect our king. Can you see how his pawn taking our pawn protects our king? Because black pieces can't capture black pawns. So it's an invincible shield. We're just going to leave it there. You see? This helps us, but most people think it hurts us. That's why I don't mind. Not only does it open a rook for the e file, but we get this knight square for the knight. Now, which one should we do first? Also, I should consider, okay, if you ever check, he just blocks, no big deal. Maybe bring in the last piece. Or maybe go here. This is interesting because if he kicks you, you have a fork. If he doesn't kick you, now let's just x-ray the king with our last piece. Without calculating, it just should be fine. We're bringing in a piece opposite the king. I mean, how bad can that be? Everything's winning. He has no moves. Trades are automatic losses for him, right? Because we'll just end up with 2 minor pieces. So this is just a waste of his own time. There's a 0% chance he gets out of this. Even if we make 10 inaccuracies, it makes no difference. As long as we don't hang a piece or something. He goes for a queen trade, but we're up 2 pieces, right? So incorrect. Incorrect. He takes with the pawn. Now we can force his king to the back rank, which is interesting. There's also free material. The choice is yours, guys. I'm going to restrict his king. Disconnect his rooks. Because it looks nice. This is just really, this isn't doing anything. There's nothing in the position for him. Does this come with any threats? Not particularly. Can we mate this guy with all of our extra pieces? I mean, it's a good improving move anyway, so I'm going to do it because then his rook can't use the semi-open file and with a threat. Like that's his best move probably, just to attack the pawn, which is doesn't do anything, but you know what I mean? But now he can't even move the rook to any square because it hangs on all three. This guy can't go here or here. It's like, what are you even doing? Maybe he'll attack it with the king or something. I don't even know. Then we'll just bounce around hitting stuff. He'll push pawns, but every pawn pushes committal. So you could just keep bouncing around infinitely, and there will come a time when he can't move the pawns anymore. So let's see. If he goes here, maybe we just get the turn back with a check, pick up this pawn. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we'll do. It's easiest. But like, what is he thinking about? You don't have any resources. There's nothing to think about. You don't have legal moves. I mean, he's just going to solidify the pawns with e5 and doesn't do anything but open up a light square diagonal towards his king. I mean, Mr. Cox 2, just resign, sir. Okay, so there's only one move I would take back or redo in this game, and it was taking this pawn. I said if you get greedy, like there was no reason to take this and allow him to take here. I mean, obviously you're still winning, it doesn't matter, but I would change that. So if I'm rethinking this, he wants to take. You can't take back because you're king. So you just move your king. I would move my king out of the alignment so that if he takes, I can just take back. That's what I would change. So anyway, he still hasn't moved. So what do you guys think? Is he going to move or is he going to let the clock run out? Based on our... Very good. Thank you for resigning, sir. You see, we say thank you when they resign. We don't make fun of them anymore. We're a mirror. We reflect what comes at us. You're kind, we're kind. You're not, we're not. Simple. So, we have... Ayo, what is this? 0 inaccuracies. Haven't had that in forever. 0 mistakes, 0 blunders. 15 cent upon, 98%. Look at that graph. We haven't had a perfect, and when I say perfect game, I usually discount inaccuracies. I'm really just referring to mistakes and blunders because we're only human. But this is like an actual perfect game with even no inaccuracies against the 1700s. That's awesome. It's weird that we don't have inaccuracies. That move that I wanted to take back, is that not an inaccuracy? Let me see. Okay, so anyway, development and center. How is this not an inaccuracy? Like the top moves are knight c3, d4, and c3. Clearly all moves that affect the center. And I played this. I guess because it is Sicilian and his long-term plan is to expand, the computer says it's not like just as good. I don't know. Anyway, we're just doing a waiting move to see if he commits his knight so we can put our bishop here. And it's also prophylaxis because b5 is black's main source of counterplay when you play f5 systems. Or anything, that's just how the Sicilian goes, right? It's basically an English from the black side where they play on the queen side. So prophylaxis and waiting move. Gaining space, improving our position for free, clearing the center for our knight, misplacing his knight. Yeah, the second he goes here, it's a blunder, which was super weird. He could have tried this. It's not the best square because it could be kicked, but at least it has, you know, places to go. You could also bring it back home. You could also go here, 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 which I think this is the most standard approach. This type of thing you'll see players do. So that's why I knew this looked wrong. It goes to plus 3.5 and higher from here on out. So we do this. He does go bishop h4 check. Now if you take this, you're losing. You see? Because now with the queen check, I mean if you move your king, that's terrible for you. And if you block, he does the puzzle rush tactic. See this? And you lose. So it's important the bishop's here, not the queen. and then we just play g3. It's funny because even king e2 is +2 because his knight is still trapped. So if you were worried about sacks on g3, you could have just moved your king, which we had to do anyway, which is interesting. But here, he gets 2 pawns for the sack. We still go king e2 forced, and it's just better. Our rook is open, our bishop is open, we have lines, and he has nothing. Weird move. Development for free and center. Development and center. Improving a piece for free. I mean, that's just a ridiculous move when, like, he's an 1800. I can see, like, if he misses this, whatever, you know, like, people overlook that stuff. But, I mean, this is just so obvious. Anyway, free stuff, force move. Improving a piece for free because this is a super strong move. Even though you're not taking anything, it's basically a threat. Like it's the level of a threat. It's such a good square that you have to consider it a threat, and you need to try to stop it by putting that square somehow under your control. But you can't in this position because we have a pawn here. Anyway, he gives us a check. You could move your king, but just let's say force move and improving a piece for free at +5. Development and X-ray. Improving a piece for free and improving our king, right? And improving our queen. So we're improving all 3 of these units in one move. So that's pretty nice. Best move, developing for free. He goes here and improving a piece for free. Why? Checkmate in 1 is on the board, a threat. He goes here. And this is where I would move my king, right? Because I think this is where I took the pawn, which you can do. It goes from +6 to +5.3, so I guess they don't consider it an accuracy, but I didn't like giving him this idea. It doesn't do anything, but still, just on principle, he shouldn't even get that. And so, yeah, the best move is king e2. I moved a little fast because I forgot about this alignment, if I'm being honest. But if I was paying more attention, I would have gone king e2, which is best. And the move I said, if I could take it back, I would make. Engine's not verifying it's best. So we take the pawn. Good enough. He does this, and we have to move the knight because it's hanging. So force move. You could have gone either way. They're both really good. And again, this pawn is good for white, not bad for white. People are afraid of this pawn, but we love it because it's an invincible shield. He can never get to our king. Least active piece, developing X-ray. Trades or wins for free stuff. Improving a piece for free. Improving a piece not for free, but I mean, it's so restricting, it's crazy. And he resigns. Great game. Great game. And now you know why I say when you can kick a knight from the center, consider it and see if it has any good squares. If it doesn't have good squares in the center to jump to, do it. So, good luck in your chess. Submit your rapid games in my Discord or in the comments below. Goodbye.